Please be joined now by back assistant coach Carter Cochrane for the first post-game interview for the 2021 season following a 4-1 defeat to the Vernon Vipers on Friday night. Carts, I just want to start with kind of your general thoughts on the game. I mean, you guys outshot them 33-26, had a bit of a dominant second period, but then the special teams battle, they go 2 for 3 on their power play. So that being said, how would you kind of evaluate yesterday's game?
Yeah, I think it's a fairly easy game to evaluate. I think it's one of those ones where you can, you mentioned it, the special teams battle, and you can just look at the game overall and just see like that both teams played pretty well structurally. There wasn't a lot of mistakes, and one team's power play was good, another team's penalty kill wasn't, and unfortunately that was both of us. So it's kind of it's a tough one to win when you lose a special teams battle like that. Something we've talked about a lot. And then when you get a hot goalie on the other side too, it was a bit of a tough one for us. But I definitely felt, watching that game, it definitely didn't look like two teams that hadn't played in 4 months. I thought that both teams looked really good. The structure was there. Didn't really get too scrambly ever. And I think there was a lot of positives for us to build off of. And if we can continue to play like that last night, I think we'll get better results.
Let's just kind of chronologically a little bit go through the game. Can you tell me about the start? You guys scored 2 minutes in, just over 2 minutes in. It was the first shot of the game, and then quickly they do score on the power play not long after. But so 1-1, 5 minutes in. Let's just go to the beginning. How'd you like your start?
Yeah, I thought the start was good. We knew the guys were going to have a lot of energy. I think we did a good job of kind of establishing the way we wanted to play. We did a really good job off the forecheck. Made it known that it was going to be difficult to gain lines on us. We did a really good job transitioning the puck, and I think that the tempo of that first 5 minutes was really good. It just seemed to be going back and forth, and both teams were moving the puck well. And really good job just getting pucks low to high in the O zone, and Tucker does a good job getting a puck through and get a good bounce out to Benny and to score that first goal, which was a huge one to get the boys into it and really go in. But I think their power play goal is just a tough one where our guys do a really good job. We're patient in the zone. We're identifying who we have. We just really get focused on one guy instead of kind of accounting for two at all times. And that leaves one of their guys kind of open on the back door. And it's a really good pass by Tonelli there. And but it's obviously it's a tough to give up that goal after the start we had, and to be the first kill that we have. We don't want them to get too much momentum off that power play early, which we did allow them to get. But yeah, the first period did not look like two teams that hadn't played in 4 months. It was it was a credit to those guys and the work that they put in, and from both sides. And, it was a fun period, fun game to watch overall.
Yeah, so the first period, you guys were down 2-1, but as you said, good hockey, close. The second, you guys start to get more and more ozone time. You guys get some solid shifts back to back, end up out shooting them 15-3. But you are still down by a goal. How do you kind of view that period, that there were positives, but you're still trailing?
Yeah, that's the hard part. When you put together a period like that, you hope that one of two things has happened. Either that you're leading in the game already, or that you're able to at least put one in the net to kind of reward yourself for the work you've put in. It's only natural that after you do something over and over again and you don't have success with it, that you're going to start to deter away from it. And, I thought that we started the second and the entire second period really, where we were just possessing pucks down low. We weren't forcing anything. We were making Vernon defend us one-on-one, and just really made them work. And you saw we were able to get some offensive zone line changes and get some fresh guys against tired guys and take advantage of them there. And you got to give credit where credit's due. Like James Porter came up big a number of times in that second period, but it's just kind of the way the game works. And then you start the third period and there's 3 penalties in the first 7 minutes, and you look up at the clock and it's 10 minutes through the period before we're really playing 5-on-5 hockey again, where we really controlled the game 5-on-5, but we give up a shorthanded goal at the beginning of that period, and it puts it a little bit almost out of reach with how well Vernon is structurally. And I think the way that both of our teams match up, when you get a 2-goal lead on one of us, it's going to be very tough to come back from, just because of how we play. And Jason's a really good coach over there and has them playing very structured, and we're trying to do the same thing here. And I wouldn't expect there to be a lot of high scoring affairs or a lot of big lead margins in this series over the next 9 games here.
Now you talked about, the power plays for both sides early in the third, and all of a sudden you're down to 10 minutes. But if you can maybe just still take us to that power play goal, the second one of the game for them, maybe kind of break it down. I mean, is that first pass across kind of where the trouble started? Like that pass can't get to McDonald?
Well, it's kind of a combination of things. So it's a difficult one too, because the first power play goal goes in because we get too fixated on guys, and we give up that cross seam pass. And the second power play goal goes in because we let that seam pass happen, and we think, oh, we got to get out there, we got to block that shot, we got to get in that lane, and we end up not being patient and running out of position. And the same types of guys were on the ice for both goals, and you can tell that there was a little bit of trying to make up for previous mistakes. And I don't think that they did anything extraordinary on their power play. I think they generated some of the same looks that we did. It's just that they were a little bit more composed on their kill and able to keep us to the outside, where we just gave up, I think, 2 good looks on their power play, and they cashed on both. So, they did. That's one thing that they did a really good job of as a whole yesterday, is capitalizing on their chances. Numbers aren't always tell the story, but we had them down for 6 chances and 4 goals, and we just don't think that that's going to ever go that way. Like, I didn't think Sazy played bad at all. It was just kind of one of those nights where when they do get a chance, it's a cross crease back door to a wide open guy, or it's a fluky one where he fell down there, and it's just it was tough for him because he got matched up against a real good goalie across from there and didn't get the bounces going his way. But I think it's just one of those games where it could have went either way, and it almost had a playoff style feel to it, despite being our first game in 4 months.
Let's talk about Drew Bennett. I mean, another goal. Like, what more does this guy need to do to get an NCAA scholarship?
That's a great question, and one I think is going to be answered fairly soon. But you know what? Drew is the type of guy that when you watch a game like that and you play a team like Vernon, you can always count on him to be a guy that shows up. They've got big, strong defense. They like to keep you to the outside. They play a hard game. I mean, I've been part of this league for almost 10 years now, and I've seen them go from the Mark Verner teams to McKee now, and it's just they're disciplined. They're hard to play against, and that's the type of style that Benny thrives in. He doesn't want the easy way. He wants to always be at the middle of the battle, and he's going to push extremely hard. And he's a guy that we saw last year in playoffs how good he was for us in that round 1 series against Victoria. And these 20 games for everyone are going to feel like playoffs, but when you're a 20-year-old fighting for that scholarship, I think we're going to see some very good hockey out of Drew Bennett down the stretch here, because he's always somebody who rises to the occasion.
From your side, who else stood out from the backs in a positive way last night?
I think that when you saw us play in the preseason and those extended training camp games, you saw the youthfulness of our back end show at times. So we have some really high-end guys back there with a ton of potential, but I mean, it's difficult for all incoming players to make the transition, and especially that for defensemen. So you talk about Tucker Hartman, Lucas Mata, Joakim LeMay, Will Levine, just like that transition you have to make as a young player and an incoming one at that into our league. And I think that the time we've had off over these last few months has really given them opportunities to settle in, get more comfortable with the league, the pace, what you need to do defensively. And I think last night, the 6 of our defensemen played outstanding. We were able to roll over all 3 D pairs at all times, which is going to be crucial for us playing so many games in a short period of time. We're going to need to lean on everybody back there. And I thought our whole D-corps stepped up, and especially those young guys just carrying the mail. And it allows us to put 2 veteran guys like Roosh and Sands together and really work them hard, and to put, to have 4 rookies on our other 2 pairs, and they're able to just go and, hold their own for 20 minutes a night. And it was great to see. And I think they impacted the game in all areas of the ice, from, I think, Will Levine and the way he broke the puck out and allowed us to transition. He was phenomenal that way. Tucker did a great job getting that shot through that led to our first goal. And then you saw really good things from LeMay all over the ice. He plays in every situation for us. And Lucas Mata, same thing. So, I mean, we're really excited about our back end and with the strides they've taken lately. And we thought as a group they played extremely well last night.